Chulin Daf Vav. We're starting 4 lines from the top. The Gemara is discussing the Gzeira, the Rabban Gamliel, the decree he made that a kusi's shchita is invalid. My time goes with Rabban, and how come the Chachamim made this decree? Kiha, the Rabbi Shimon ben Elazar, just like when Rabbi Shimon ben Elazar Shadrei Rav Meir sent him to bring wine from the house of a kusi. This old man found him. Put a knife in your throat in Bal Nefesh Ata. In Bal Nefesh Ata, if you have a desire to eat it, you shouldn't put a knife in your throat. You shouldn't eat it. Rabbi Shimon ben Elazar went back to her and told over the story in front of Rav Meir, and he decreed on them also that you can't drink wine from them. My time, what's this reason that this old man said you shouldn't eat it, put a knife in your throat? The Musiyona Matzu Lohen, they found a image of a dove, Berosh Hagrizim, at the top of Hagrizim, Shayu Avdanosa, that they would worship this image of a dove, the Yonah, and therefore they became rendered as Oivdei Avodah Zarah, and therefore the Shechita is puzzle. V'Rav Meir l'Taimei dechayish l'miyuta, and this the Rav Meir decreed that all kusim are rendered invalid. The shechita is rendered invalid. He's l'Taimei, according to his own opinion, dechayish l'miyuta, that he cares about the minority. Rav Meir in all places, all over Shas, he cares of the miyuta, which means that even though maybe Rav Kusim were not idolaters on Har Grizim, they would not worship this image of the dove on Har Grizim. But still, because some of them are, so therefore Rav Meir is choshesh for the minority, and he disqualifies them all. The Gaza Ruba, and he decreed on the majority atum because of the minority. And Rav Gamliel and his bezin also held like Rav Meir that they became Oivdei Avodah Zarah, and therefore their shechita is possible. Pashte dekra b'maiksiv asks the Gemara, what's the pshutei shemriko? What's the simplicity of this verse that says "V'samta sakin b'leicha," you should put a knife in your throat? Says the Gemara, "B'talmid hayoyshev lifnei rabbi." It's talking about a disciple that's standing in front of that's sitting in front of his master, his Rebbe. The Tani Reb Chia says, "Kiseishev lilchoim es Moshe." This is the beginning of that verse. Kiseishev lilchoim es Moshe, when you sit to battle a ruler, a king, a Moshe, bin tovin eis asher lefonecha, should understand what's in front of you. V'samta sakin b'lechem, you should put a knife in your throat. Im bal nefesh ata, if you are a man of desire. Im yodeya talmid berabba, if a talmid, a student knows in his teacher, sheyodel lahachselo ta'am, that he'll know, when you ask him a question, he'll know the answer. Then ask him and he'll understand. Go ahead and understand. V'im lav, but if you know that you can stump him and he won't know the answer, so tovin eis asher lefonecha, understand that if you ask him the question, he'll be embarrassed and it's not a good thing to do. So therefore, v'samta sakin b'leicha, put a knife in your throat, meaning don't ask the question. Im bal nefesh ato, and if you're bal nefesh, meaning you have a desire to go and really have answers, so prosh hemeno, so separate yourself from him and go to a Rebbe who will have answers. Rabbi Yitzchak ben Yosef Shadrei Rab Avohu le'asui chamru bekusei. Rabbi Yitzchak ben Yosef was sent by Rab Avoh to bring wine from a kusi's house. Ashkechah Husab, an old man found him. Leis kan shomrei Torah. Over here there aren't people who keep the Torah, and therefore you should not drink the wine. Halach Rabbi Yitzchak v'sibed dvarim l'fnei Rabbi Avoh. Rabbi Yitzchak came and told over this to Rabbi Avoh. Halach Rabbi Avoh v'sibed dvarim l'fnei Rabbi Rabasi. Rabbi Avoh went and told this over in front of Rabbi Rabasi. Lo yizozu mishamat shasa'um oivdei kechavim gmurim. And they didn't leave the place until they decreed upon them that they are considered 100% idolaters. Asks the Gemara Lemai, for what? In what regard are we making them into idolaters? We're talking about regarding slaughtering and that their wine is considered asur because it's yain nesech, they pour it for avodah zarah. Mehasam gazruhu rabbanon. We already have this gzeira. Rav Meir and Rabban Gamliel, they already made this gzeira. Why does Rabbi Ami and Rabbi Asi, why do they need to make another decree? The Gemara says, Inhu Gazer, when Rabban Gamliel and Rav Meir made this decree, Lo kiblu minayu, people did not accept it, so it never caught on. Also, Rav Ami Rabasi goes Rav Kibbul Minai. Rav Ami Rabasi came. They were geyser. They decreed, and then it actually took a hold. People accepted it, and it became a thing. Asks the Gemara, "My oivdei kachavim gemurim." What does it mean that they made them gemurim? 100% oivdei kachavim. What does it mean? This completely idolaters. Amar Rav Nachman Bar Yitzchak. This is talking regarding levatel rishus v'lutin rishus, to nullify my dominion or to give over my dominion. What's this talking about? This is talking about regarding eruvei chatzeres or eruvei mavoyas. When you have the courtyards, different people live in houses, and in front of the houses are courtyards, and the courtyards will lead to a big street. Now, if you want to be able to carry in the street on Shabbos to transfer something, in order for it to be considered one property, because you're not allowed to carry from one property to another property, midrabanan, and therefore the Chachamim say in order to allow everyone to be able to carry, you have to sort of merge all the properties together and make it into one partnership. So the ideal thing you would do is to take a piece of, to take some food, and everyone should acquire a part of that food. Now everyone together owns the food and it's put into one property, and it's as if they all really have one property. But let's say you haven't done that eruv chatzeres, you didn't merge all the properties with the food that belongs to everybody put into one place. So then there's what you could do on Shabbos. Meaning on Shabbos you're not supposed to make a kinyan, and you can't give the food to everybody. So let's say someone forgot to take part in the food and didn't make a kinyan. What do we do on Shabbos? What we do is that if he's a Yisrael, all he has to do is to relinquish his dominion and give it over to the partnership, or give it as a present. Not be mevatel it, not to nullify it, but to give it as a present. So that's levatel rishus, velitin rishus. Now, this Gemara is going to explain this difference between a Jew and a non-covenantal in terms of this halacha of eruv chatzeres, and a kusi is going to have it in like a non-covenantal, and that's what it means. They made them like oivdei kachavim gemurim. Uchdetanya, like it says in the Brisa, Yisrael mumor. If you have Yisrael who's a Baal Aveda, he's mishamer Shabbos bashuk. If he does keep Shabbos publicly in the marketplace, he keeps Shabbos. That means maybe in private he doesn't, but in public he keeps Shabbos mevatel rishus and nesin rishus. So he can just nullify his rishus on Shabbos in order for everybody to be able to carry, and for it to considered one merged property. Then he can actually nullify his rishus, or to give his rishus over as a present to the partnership. But if he does not keep Shabbos publicly, he's not able to be mevatel rishus, to nullify his rishus or give it over. Because we've said we have this rule: Yisrael neisin rishus mevatel rishus. Yisrael is allowed to just give it over or to nullify his dominion on his property to the greater partnership. But a non-covenantal ad sheyiskar, that's not enough for him to just relinquish his dominion and to just let everyone use it and give it over to the partnership. He actually has to make a schirus, actually has to rent it to everybody, and there has to be a kinyan involved, a maisa kinyan, and therefore it can't be done on Shabbos. Ketzad, what's the case when you just give it over? You say my rishus, my property should be acquired to you, to the greater partnership, or it should be totally nullified regarding the partnership. You can be kind, and you do not need to actually make a maisa kinyan. So what we're saying here is, Rashi says you don't have to do chalipin. What we're saying here is that Akusi is going to have a din like a guy, a non-covenantal, that he will not be able to just give it over. He has to actually make a kinyan. The Gemara in Avron explains the reason why a non-covenantal needs to make a kinyan, because we want to make it harder for people to live together with the non-covenantals, because we want to make a Jewish community, want people to be within Jewish communities, and we want to discourage people from having non-covenantal neighbors, and therefore we want to make it hard for people to be able to live with them. So we say, in order for a non-covenantal who lives with you not to cause a problem to carry, you have to actually make a rental. And therefore, Chachamim just wanted to make it harder to live together with a non-covenantal in order to create more of a Jewish community. And what we're saying is that a Kusi and a Yisrael that does not keep Shabbos publicly, then also he'll have a halacha like a non-covenantal, and you have to actually make a schiras. Okay, Reb Zera v'Rabasi iklu l'pundik. Reb Zera and Rabasi, they came to a hotel, the Yoi, of a place of, the place was called Yoi. I saw the Kamayi Beitzim up because they brought in front of them eggs that were roasted biyayin, and they were mixed together with wine. Reb Zera lo yachal. Reb Zera did not eat. Rabasi ochal. He did eat. Amalei Reb Zera Rabasi. Reb Zera asked Rabasi v'leichai shmal taruvas d'mai. Rabasi, how come you don't care about ta'aruvas d'mai? Basically, these people in this inn that were serving them food were amaratzim, who did not necessarily take away meiser from the yayin. And in Amoritz, who you can't trust that he for sure took away, separated meiser from his grapes, it's a problem, and it's called demai. And Chachamim were guys that you can't eat from it. You have to take off on your own. You have to take off meiser. So how come you ate it? These people are Amaratzim. You don't know for sure they took away meiser, and therefore how come you're allowed to eat? How come you ate from this eggs that was mixed with wine? Amar lei lava dato. You're right. I wasn't thinking about it. Amar Reb Zera says Reb Zera, after Gozru al Taruvas D'mai, could it be that there actually was a decree on a Taruvas D'mai, meaning not just D'mai alone, but D'mai that was already mixed up with something else? A mixture that has D'mai within it, could it be that they even decreed on that, Umistayim Milsa, and then it came about to Rabasi L'meichal Yisura? And if the rabbis did decree even on a mixture of D'mai, not just D'mai itself, so then it comes out that Reb Asi ate something that was not allowed to be eaten. Hashta behemtan tzadikim. If even the animals of tzadikim ben Hakadosh Baruch Hu movie takala yodim, Hakadosh Baruch Hu doesn't bring a pitfall even to the animals of tzadikim, like we're going to see later on with the donkey of Pinchas ben Yair. So tzadikim atzman loy kolshkan. For sure, tzadikim Hakadosh Baruch Hu would never bring about that they would eat something that's not kosher. Divine providence would never allow that, and therefore it can't be that there is a decree even on the mixture of D'mai, because Reb Asi, he only ate eggs that were mixed with yayin, right? So he didn't have D'mai alone, he had it mixed with something else, and therefore he's saying it must be they did not decree on even a mixture, and therefore Reb Asi really did not eat something that was not kosher. So Nafak Reb Zera went, he checked v'ashkach, and he found what he was thinking. He found ditnan alekach yayin loseis l'toich hamurias. If you take wine to put into murias is like some type of fish brine, and so you take wine to mix it with murias, or into some type of wine drink. They used to mix wine with oil and water. So you took wine to mix into that, karshinin, or you took karshinin, which are some type of legumes, peas or something like that. Lasais meant tchinin, to grind it up, or adashim, lentils. Lasais meant resisin, also to chop it up. If you took that, chayav b'shum demai, you are chayav b'shum demai. Ve'en tzarich lo b'shum vaday, and meaning if it's you bought it from an amoritz, and it is chayav b'shum demai, which means you have to be choishish that maybe they didn't take it off, didn't take off meiser, and therefore you have to take off meiser. Ve'en tzarich lo b'shum vaday. And of course, if he tells you I did not take off meiser, you for sure have to take it off. Not a question. So says Reb Zera, this Brisa was talking about a case where you took yayin in order to mix it up with something else, and the Brisa is saying that you have to actually take off meiser, but that's only when you bought the actual product of yayin or karshinin. You bought the product alone, without a mixture, and then you mixed it in on your own. And over there, you have to take off meiser. V'hein atzman mutarin. But if you just buy, if you buy it once it's already mixed, if you buy the murias, or you buy the aluntis, or you buy the tchinin or resisin, which means that it's already mixed up, then you do not have to take off meiser. Why? Because so they themselves, if you already buy the mixture, it's allowed and Chachamim did not were not geyser on a taruvus of demai. V'atanya, says the Gemara, is this true that they were not geyser on a taruvus of demai? If someone gives his neighbor a dough to bake ukder levashel, and with a platter to bake it in a pot. So you gave the dough and the platter. You do not need to be choshish. You don't have to be suspicious that she might have switched the se'ar and the tavlin shabbat. That she might have switched the spices or the yeast that you're making the bread rise. If you gave it to her, you do not have to be suspicious that she switched it. You gave her kosher yeast and you gave her kosher spices. You don't have to be suspicious that she might have switched it. You don't have to be, and then it would be a problem. Mishum shvis, mishum meiser. You don't have to worry that the bread that she's going to give back to you, you brought her yeast in a pot to bake, and you brought your own, you brought her dough in a pot to bake, and you brought her yeast and you brought her spices. You don't have to think that maybe she switched the sa'ar and the spices. She switched the yeast with something that's asur because of shvis or because of meiser, something from shmita which is not allowed to be eaten, or something that was not meiser was not separated. You don't have to be choshish. Why? Because she's not going to switch. Something you gave to her, she's not going to switch it. V'im omerla, however, asili mishalechi, if he tells her, here, take the yeast and take the pot and make it on your own. You should add the yeast and the spices. So then you are choshish l's'ar v'tavlin shiba. You do have to be suspicious that maybe she used se'ar and tavlin that had issues of mishum shvis and mishum meiser mishum meiser. That meiser wasn't removed. So what do you see from here? You see from here that even though what you're getting back is your dough in your pot and it's only mixed in, only the yeast and the spices are something that's mixed in, which means that it's d'mai. It's d'mai that is already mixed in. It's a taruvas d'mai, and the Brisa says that you're not allowed to eat it. Says the Gemara, no, Shani Elson, over there is different. Really, we don't care about taruvas d'mai. Over here, we do care. Is the cave in the Karmela Asila Mishilechi, since he's telling her, he's proactively telling her, go ahead and make it from your own spices and your own yeast. So Kimanda Arbi Adaim Dami. It's not as if you chanced upon a mixture of demai. You're actually making the demai. She's doing it for you, so you're proactively causing this whole taruvas of demai. So in that situation, it's not going to be okay. Only when it's already done, b'diavad, then you can eat it. When the Amarts did it alone, then you can eat it. But you can't get the Amarts to do it for you. Raf from Omar says, Raf from Shani Sa'ar v'Tavlin. No. Sa'ar and Tavlin are different. The Taima Ovid. Sa'ar and Tavlin are made for taste. And since they're made for taste, time is loy batal. Meaning Rafram saying really tarovis se'or and d'mai is going to be tarovis d'mai is really going to be asur. Is really going to be mutter. Regular tarovis d'mai is really going to be mutter. But over here, the only reason why se'or, yeast, and tavlin is asur is because it's made for taste. V'taim l'batil, and the taste doesn't get batal b'roiv. It's not nullified. You can still feel it. You can still taste it, and therefore, only over here by Sar and Tavlin, the Brisa is machmer, but regularly taruvas d'mai is not a problem. Says the Gemara, are you telling me the Brisa just said that we're not concerned with the fact that she might switch your yeast for her yeast, which means we said that if you brought your own yeast and your own spices, that we're not concerned that she might have switched it with her own yeast and now it's not good, it's not kosher yeast or kosher spices, because if you give her something, she's going to use that, she's not going to switch it with her own. And says the Gemara, really, are we not choshish for this lechlufe? Are we not choshish for this? Vatanan, doesn't it say in the Mishnah, Hanaisin lechamoisei meiser, Hanaisin lechamoisei, if someone gives something to his mother-in-law, gives food to his mother-in-law, Rashi is talking about also dough. If you give dough to your mother-in-law, me'aser esru nosano, you have to take off meiser from what you give her, and then when she gives it back to you baked, you also have to remove meiser. Why? Because she is, we do think that she might have machlefes hamiskalkal. If something might have gone wrong when she baked the bread, she might have switched it on you, and therefore, even though you took off meiser before, you still have to take off meiser after, because it might not be the same exact bread that you gave it to her. She might have switched it because it might have messed up. And if she switched it, and then she's going to end up eating the one you gave it to her, and then she's going to be eating something that's not me'usr, and therefore you have to be ma'aser before, just in case she ends up eating it. And you have to be ma'aser after, just in case she gave you something else, she switched it. So you see over here that we are choshish, we are suspicious that someone might have switched something you gave it to them. Something you gave them. The Gemara says, Hasam Keditanya. Over there, no. Over there it's like the Brisa gives its own taima, the Keditanya taima. Amar Rabbi Yehuda Roitzi B'Dakona Spita, she wants that her daughter will be okay. Uboisha Mechasana, she wants her daughter to eat well, but she's embarrassed from her son-in-law, and therefore only in that situation where she has something else motivating her to make sure the food is good, in that situation she might switch it. But regularly you do not have to be concerned that someone might switch what you give them with something not kosher. And it's only over there because she wants to make sure her daughter's husband would like her, and her daughter will eat something good, and therefore she might switch over there. Asks the Gemara, really, we're not concerned that she's not going to switch. Vatnan, don't we have another Mishnah? If someone gives his innkeeper me'aser esru noisel, you also have the same thing. You have to be me'aser. You have to take off meiser from what you give her. Esru noisel, what you take away from her. Why? She might switch it. The Gemara says, Hasam nami. Over there also. Over there is an exception also. Why? Because Murya ve'amra, she sort of decides for herself. She's Mora Heter. She decides for herself, and she says, Bar Rav, this rabbi, this Ben Torah who's coming and eating by me, he leichol chamima ve'ana eichol krira. He should eat warm and I should eat cold. No, it's the opposite. It's Murya ve'amra barbi rav leichol chmima. It's better for the Ben Torah to eat warm and I'll eat cold. Basically, you gave her food and now it got cold. So therefore she's going to switch it. And therefore only over there you're chayshish that she's going to switch it because she sees you're a Ben Torah, and she wants to give you hot food, and therefore she switches it with her fresh goods, and she gives it to you, and therefore, even though you were ma'aser at first, you have to be concerned that maybe she gave you something else to give you something warm, and therefore you have to be ma'aser it again. But regularly, we're not suspicious that someone might switch it. Asks the Gemara, really? Are we not concerned with someone switching something? Vatanya, we have a brisa talking about an Eishes chaver, the wife of a chaver, someone who's not a mart, someone who does know the halachas, who keeps the halachas, techenes, she's allowed to grind wheat, go to the mill and grind wheat, im Eishes amaretz, with the wife of an amaretz, bizman shitmei, only when she herself is impure. But not when she's pure. How come? Because she might end up eating from the Amoritz's wife, might give her something to eat. Now, if the Amoritz's wife gives her something to eat, it's a problem because it's not me'usar. But we say if the woman's tamei, so because she's tamei, she knows to be careful not to touch anything because she doesn't want to make anything invalid. back then they used to care about Tum and Tyre because they used to go to Beis Hamikdash. They used to make sure they're pure, and therefore, if she's impure, she would know to stay far away from the food and not touch it. And therefore, even though there's the Amaritz's wife is over there, but even if she tries offering her food, she won't take it because she's tamei. But when she's tahar, if she's pure, then she's not allowed to go to the mill together with Amaritz's wife, because then the Amaritz's wife might give her food and she'll end up eating it, even though Meiser was not taken off. Rabbi Shimon Lazar Omer, af bizman shehi tmeya, even when she's tmeya, loy titchon. Even when she's tamei, loy titchon, she should not grind the wheat with her. Anyway gives her. The Gemara says, her friend gives her and she eats. Asks the Gemara, Hashta migzal gazla. Now, if even the wife of an Amoritz steals from her husband, meaning the Gemara is assuming without permission, she takes food and gives it to the Eishes Chaver. The Eishes Amoritz takes food, gives it to the Eishes Chaver. That's stealing. Chalufe mibaya. If we're chayshish that she steals, for sure we're chayshish that she will switch something you give it to her. Why are we saying that we don't? If you give someone the spices or the yeast, you don't have to be concerned that maybe they switched it with something else. No, they won't switch something you give it to them. Well, over here you see that she'll even take something from her husband and give it to her friend without permission, so for sure she'll switch something. The Gemara says, Halsam Nami Muri of Amr, over there she's Maraheter. She says, no, it's fine. Tura midishe ka'achel. An ox is allowed to eat from his own threshing. It's a play on the pasuk that says, but basically, because she's working at the mill, she's grinding the things, my husband for sure lets me eat it, and I can give it to my friends also, and therefore that's not considered stealing. That's what she says. And therefore, only in that situation, she would give it to her friend, and not, in regular situations, she would not steal, and she would not switch what you give her. Hey, Rabbi Yeshua ben Zaruz ben Chomiv shel Rav Meir. Rabbi Yeshua ben Zaruz, testified, he was the son-in-law of Rav Meir, Lifnei Rabbi, he testified in front of Rabbi al Rav Meir, that Rav Meir, she'ochal ole shel yarek beveis sha'an. He ate a leaf of a vegetable in Beis Sha'an. Beis Sha'an was a certain place. The question is whether it was Eretz Yisrael. So Rav Meir ate a leaf of a yarek from Beis Sha'an without taking off Meiser. Now Meiser yarek in Eretz Yisrael is only midirabanan. Since it's only midirabanan in Eretz Yisrael, so in Chutz La'aretz it's totally mutter. And therefore, Rav Meir held Beis Sha'an is not considered Eretz Yisrael, and therefore he ate without taking off Meiser from this vegetable. The hit to Rebbe is Beis Sha'an Kula, and once Rebbe heard this, he permitted the entire Beis Sha'an Kula al Yodo. Because through what Rabbi Yeshua told him, he was able to allow everyone in Beis Sha'an and not to take off Meiser Yarek because it's considered Chutz La'aretz. So Chavru Olav Echav Beis Aviv, all his brothers and the people from his father's house all gathered around him. In a place that your fathers, the fathers of the fathers, Nagu Ba'Yisr, it was customary for them to prohibit eating something without separating Meiser. Ata Tinag Ba'Heter. You're going to say that you're going to practice Heter, meaning the minig over here forever in Beis Sha'an was that it's considered Eretz Yisrael and you have to be machmir. How do you have the right to get up and say now that it's totally fine, that it's not considered Eretz Yisrael? So Dorish Lohen Mikra Zu. He expounded on this following verse where he drew a parallel to what he did. The pasuk says V'chites nechash hanechoshes. It says that Chizkiyo Melech Yehuda he ground up, he chopped up the nechash hanechoshes, the copper snake, Asher Asa Moshe, that Moshe Rabbeinu made, Ki Ada Yomim Hohema Hoyu Bnei Yisrael Mekatrim, because until those days Bnei Yisrael would bring kitaras to it, a type of avodah zara, Vayikol Nechushtan, and they would call it Nechushtan. So what did Chizkiyahu do? He because it was a type of avodah zara, so he broke it up, and he stopped them from being avodah zara. So asks Rabbi Efshar Ba Asa came, King Asa of Yisrael, he came and he destroyed avodah zara, but he did not destroy this one. But Yehoshaphat, who's also a tzaddik v'loy biro, he did not destroy it. All avodah zara of the world, Asa and Yehoshaphat birum, they destroyed all avodah zara. So how come they didn't destroy this? And where does Chizkiyahu have the right to come after all his fathers didn't destroy the Nechash and Nechoshes, and now he's going to destroy it? The Gemara says, Ella, what we say no, your fathers always leave you a place. It could be that your fathers left you a place to innovate on your own. Afani, so too Rebbe says over here in Beis Shan, my fathers left me a place, my own place to make an innovation. Even though they didn't do it, they left it for me. Meaning I have the right to make an innovation even though my fathers didn't. When the Talmud Chacham says a Dvar Halacha, even though it sounds something like we never heard it before, so if a Talmud Chacham says Dvar Halacha that's innovative, that seems to be going against what the previous meaning was. She'ein mazichin oisei, we are not maziachim. But Amrila, some say ein maznichim oisei, we're not mazniachim. The Amrila ein mazchichin oisei. Now, what are these different terms? Manda Amar mazichin oisei. You do not. The Talmud Chacham who says Anu Halacha ein mazichin oisei. Diksiv lo yizach hachoshen. So the word yizach means that the choshen should not veer from the ephod, which means it shouldn't move from the ephod. So you don't move him, don't shake him. It's fine. He's allowed to say something innovative. Someone who says the one who says that the girsa is ein maznichin oisei, diksiv ki lo yiznach la'olam Hashem. Hashem will never forsake Klal Yisrael, right? So to Amir, ein maznichin means if a Talmud Chacham says a new halacha, don't forsake him. It's legitimate. Umador mazchichin. The one who says maschichin is the Tnan Misharabi Zchuchei Alev. Zchuchei Alev, when they were, the Mishnah in Saita says that when there became a lot of people who were haughty. Zchuchei Alev means someone who has gaiva in their heart. Rabu Machlokes B'Yisrael, became a lot of Machlokes in Yisrael. So maschichin means